Schnass Hakel. In the time when the Beis HaMikdash was existent materially also, it was the time to gather all the Jewish people together, especially not waiting for the Bar Mitzvah, but even the very little one, and even the Ktanim, the Pitzlach Kinder also. And all these people together is the king of this time. And the Sanhedrin and the Anosh and Benoshim and the very little children was together in the same place, in the same time, for the same purpose, to hear God Almighty's Torah and to take upon themselves to fulfill it during all the year round, and to do so בחוקי תלמיך ובמצווי תשמרו ונשאתי שולם בארץ ולחסן כמימיס, that it will be peace in all the world around us, that is a very big need of peace.
I grew up in Toronto, Canada, in the 1970s, 1980s. My father came from a Hasidic background, and once he had an experience meeting the Rebbe and being privileged to many Yechidus in the early years, he felt it was something important that he needed to perpetuate to his children, to bring them, to give them the experience of being in the Rebbe's presence several times a year.
First time that I came was 1952. I stayed at Reb Zalman Duckman's house at that time in Bronzeville, and we walked to 770. I became very attached to the Rebbe because I admired the Rebbe as a person, and as a Rebbe, I became attached as a, as a Chassid. If I can call myself a Chassid.
Wat erfunden sich der Nimschal. In die Serie was fordert sich bei jedem Lisman im nicht nur als allein da sein der Yishmeu, wie Yilmedu, wie Yiru. Nur wenn darf ton kol hatolui be, ado soll der Griechen zu Anoshim wie Taf und sie sollen hören dem Dwar Elikim, is demut is menem aftich, als können peilen a viele Afazene, was sie verstehen nicht a viele. Was mir redt mit sie.
I was born in Worcester, Massachusetts. My parents, Yisrael and Miriam Gordon, were shluchim. In the 50s and 60s, and I think into the 70s as well, every chassid of the Rebbe would get a yechidus, a private audience on his birthday. My father would drive us, the whole family, in for Chav Ches Shvat, which was his birthday, for that once-a-year yechidus.
I grew up in Montreal, Canada. My father and mother made great efforts to bring us to the Rebbe. Every Cholamayit, when there was a rally, my parents were, loading up the station wagon, putting goodies in the car so we would stay quiet. The car was loaded to the gills with neshamis, with souls, and with food. The border guard would say to us, "Why are you coming to New York?" And we'd say, "To see the Rebbe." And he said, "Oh, Rabbi Schneerson," like a lot of them knew. So that was something that as a kid I thought was so cool, that the border guard knew the Rebbe. Like, isn't that crazy?
As soon as we landed, it was quite a hectic schedule. We used to come in Erev Hashanah Rabbah. We would go straight to 770 for Mincha Ma'ariv to hear the Rebbe Sicha and catch what was left of Simchas Beis Sheva, and then go to Tehillim at 1 a.m. My father and I stood near the Rebbe in the front of 770. The Rebbe was always giving attention to the children, making the children feel welcome, making the children feel part of whatever was going on, whether it was Hakafas or Fabrengen. And I was there, obviously being part of it, part of this throng of children.
I could tell you that even young kids, when you saw the Rebbe, you saw a flam fire, you saw a pillar of light.
Zido is pashtutsche de meische bechol dore ve dore. Vodose de raie mehemnische bechol de, was hat sie mechaie gewern und sie gefiert.
Komm! Mischon! Gish! Lahem! הולך, לעלם.
It was fun. It was, I think it's the fondest memories we have.
In a private audience, it was often very late. We were very tired sitting on that bench. But my mother would comb our hair right before we went in to make sure we looked presentable to the Rebbe. And I remember the feeling of that. When I felt that comb, I knew we were going in soon. The Rebbe would, of course, speak to my parents. It was all in Yiddish. I didn't understand what the discussion was with them. But then he would turn to us, and he would beckon us to his drawer and allow us to choose a lollipop. He always took red. We were very aware of how spiritual that occasion was. We felt it. Coming from him, we felt like a lot of love, a lot of interest, a lot of caring, understanding, acceptance. At the same time, this is what's unusual about the Rebbe. A lot of people give you that. Your Bubby gives you all that. But what was unusual about the Rebbe is there was a sense of expectation. He had expectations, and we felt that too. Everybody there felt like he has expectations of us. We want to live up to it.
Der Mann von Rabbi ist sich nicht nur eine von der Twie, nur das ist sich eine von der Nesinas-Keach.
One year for the post-Simchas Torah Farbrengen, I had gone home, I wasn't feeling well, may have been tired from the whole Simchas Torah.
I went to sleep. I came to Sweden, I sat down, and I said L'chaim. The Rebbe doesn't look at me. I say again L'chaim. And something came to my mind. I got up. You know what it was like, Simchas Torah, like herring in a barrel, you know. Everybody was pressed. There wasn't an inch to move. I got on the table. I walked home. I got Ezzy, and I brought him back to shul. And I didn't have room to put him where I was. They put him in. So the Rebbe motioned to him, he should say L'chaim for Ezzy. And he said L'chaim. Then I turned to the Rebbe and said L'chaim. The Rebbe said L'chaim to me. I had to go home, get him dressed, bring him to shul, bring him there. The Rebbe wanted him there.
Der Zwiebel von Hakel ist, als wir da bringen a viele Ktanen, wie bald das Neilerli avir Heuler. Und mir sagt, zu die Bossidas Almenas le Kabel Pras, le Hovis Charli Mivier.
When we went to New York to be with the Rebbe as teenagers, they brought busloads of girls, and they needed counselors for all of them. And we had a whole bunch of girls who did not overly seem to be observant or anything else like that. And one of the girls started giving me a hard time, and she said, "This is so foolish. Why are we up here? We can't hear anything." And she started to make a little bit of a ruckus. So when I said to her, "Just wait a few more minutes. Soon it's going to be singing. It's going to be very nice." Once the singing started, she started to say, "What are we here for? We can't do anything." And I said to her, "You know what? You can make l'chaim to the Rebbe. Think of something that you need, and the Rebbe will answer you." So she started to mimic, and she started to say, "L'chaim, l'chaim, Rebbe," like. And then the other girls started doing it. Whatever. We didn't make anything of it. Then we see a commotion downstairs that the Rebbe was telling, I think, Rabbi Groner or somebody, that they should send grape juice upstairs to the girls. We come outside, and the rabbis, whoever it was, I think it was Rabbi Raskin, I don't remember who else was there, he said, "Did you hear? The Rebbe told the girls to make l'chaim." This girl went white. She was like, "What do you mean?" They were all melting. I reflect on how blessed I was with parents who did not keep the Rebbe to themselves.
I have to be honest, it wasn't always easy. Sometimes I complained. It was a little too squishy, it was a little too pushy. But I really have to say thank you to my father for giving me that experience.
I know that I have that mechanism and that ability to give it to the same thing to my children.
Zareje nehmen le Josef 10 Marisse. Das, was steht in Seher, a Tzadika de Ispate, Ishtakar bechulo alme yater mipchayehi, I das gemein teichet en Elam hazeh agashmi.
I hear my kids, I hear them talking with their kids, I hear my grandchildren. The Rebbe is very important to them, very alive to them. The things he said are very relevant to them. They're trying to do what the Rebbe wants today. And they're getting the message.
Wir soll nicht meinen, dass mehr nicht wie bemile die Schmaio, ist Masbir, dass bemile die Alma. Beschaß sie gewähnt der Agbolis von Guf. Is demot hat der Guf gestellt neu, was mit Kabel sein. Der Hashpo mit der Birches Anossi. Beschaß sie Spate, is demot Yater mit Chayehi, kommen nehmen gleich unter die Agbolis.
Before, we had to get into the car and go to the Rebbe. But today, you can bring the pillar of fire, the flam fire, into your house. Like you can have the Rebbe's presence in your home through the Rebbe's teachings.
Der einzige Inje, was wir darf haben auf der Ruf, ist, dass jeder Hashpoid alle die Injen hoavo. Sie darf sein der Ruach, was ist Amshich Ruach, ve Eisi Ruach. Bishas mi steht ponim el ponim und mir will ne Kabel sein, wo das der Simon, a finien hakire ve Yoavo, oder demot is mi Kabel de Broches, Birches Nisiyenu, Nisi Kol Israel, in Mile de Shmayo und in Mile de Yalme, lemata Masorot Fochim, mi Geshem ve Yad Ruach, l'chaim.